Hey y'all, it's Sergeant Dan from Palmetto Edge coming at you with another knife review. Big surprise there. Today I have for you the Benchmade 560. Yeah, 560-1 Freek, or as many people like to call it, the Super Freek, which I can totally see why. I don't own one of the original Freeks, but I've held one, had one, kind of wasn't too interested in it. And then saw this one, and this one kind of had the things fixed that I complained about with the original Freek, and so now I have one sitting here before me. Alright, let's get into some size comparisons. Got your Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Oh golly, come on now. Don't do me like that. As you can see, it's a little longer. A little bit longer than the Paramilitary 2, overall lengthwise anyway. Yeah, it might be with the blade too. Might be the blade that's actually so much longer. I think it is. Yeah. So you got that one. Benchmade 940. Osborne, definitely longer than that one in the blade. Let's get another slightly bigger knife here to look at. This is the, what's that one? 980 turret. This is another new one from Benchmade. As you can see, the turret's a little bigger. And, let's get something small up here. Kaiser Mini Sheepdog. Just so you can kind of, there you go. There's our sizes. Now to get into the specifications of this knife. It is a M4 steel. Sorry guys, trying to get stuff taken care of off camera here. It is the M4 steel, which is an awesome steel. I love M4. That's probably in my top 5 favorite steels, along with S35 VM and 20 CV. And that is 3.6 inches of M4 steel. It's, as you can see, it's coated. I'm trying to remember what it's coated with. I can't remember if this is Cerakote or not. I don't think so. Yes. Sorry, I'm having to look that up off camera, guys. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for that one. Yes, it is Cerakoted. So it is a black Cerakoted M4, which is a great thing to do with M4. If you got a M4 blade, it needs M4 steel. It needs to be coated just to help with the longevity of that steel. Overall length is 8.46 inches. It is a drop point hollow grind. Yeah, but man, just barely. That's almost a flat grind. That's almost not a hollow grind. G10 handles, and this is a layered G10. That's you see the black and gray, and then the red here. This is a layered G10. It is tip, like most Benchmades, it is a tip up carry only, but it is reversible, so you can do right hand or left hand tip up only. Access lock, same as most other Benchmades. USA made, just like all Benchmades, and as I've said several times before, that's an absolute plus with me for it to be USA made, even from a nowadays controversial company such as Benchmade. So yeah, I mean, USA made is a plus. I don't care what company it is. This is a let's see. It's got steel liners, but not full steel liners. Just see if I can get it. Yeah, see here. That's where the liner ends, and it goes on up here. Okay, so it is not a full steel liner on either side. It's the same on both sides, but it gives you just enough for that thick G10 to be able to grip onto something, to be able to hold it sturdy up here for the access lock and things like that. So that's it for the specifications. Let's get into the nuts and bolts review of this thing. Like I said before, I do not own the previous Freek, the first iteration of this one. And that's because I didn't really like it that much. I liked the blade profile. I liked the handle profile. But that was about it. I didn't like the handle material. The blade material was fine, okay, but it wasn't one of those knives where I just went, oh yeah, that's sweet, I gotta get one of those. So you know, I didn't. So I didn't. Now, as far as price goes, of course it's cheaper than this one. It's a cheaper steel. It's S30V, which is a fine steel, okay, but it's a cheaper steel than the M4. It did not have G10 handles. It had, it was like a polymer with like some kind of a grippy, let's see. Yeah, it's Grivery, whatever you call it, with VersaFlex handles over it. So the VersaFlex is like that. It's kind of sticky, kind of grippy. And to me, stuff like that's just screaming to wear out over time. And then if it's, you know, if it's, to me that screams that I'm going to wear out over time and you're not going to be able to replace me right, or you know, so that just kind of threw me off on it. So I didn't purchase the first generation of the Freek. And then when I saw them coming out with this one, I went, oh my goodness, that fixes all kinds of stuff. It's still got the same blade profile in a black coated blade. I love black coated blades. You'll learn that from seeing my reviews. But it's got a black coated blade. It's got G10 scales as opposed to that other Grivery and VersaFlex stuff. Not to mention their design choices on it are just cool. This black and gray that's, let's see if I can get a good, yeah, you can see there that it's let me try and get some light on it. You can see it's got milling and texturing on it. Now this section here is smooth, as is up here, but this has a wavy, rough and bumpy texture to it. You got the barrel spacers here that I think they call it hemoglobin red, that go along with the red inner part of the scale here. This is an aesthetically pleasing knife, as well as ergonomically. It fits good in my hand. You can see I can get just a full grip on it, and I've got kind of medium-sized hands, okay? So I guess average size, you'd say. So I can get a full hard grip on that. And although the G10 is smooth, when I say smooth on a G10, when you get the G10 of like a PM2, all right, it's rough. It's textured. It's rough. This is a smooth, okay, smooth G10, but it has this milling on top of it. So this area is textured. Like I said, it's diagonal. It's wavy. So you got jimping up here. You got the shape of it here. You definitely can get, you got jimping on the back of the blade here where you can rest your thumb perfectly. You definitely get a good purchase on this blade to where it's not going to go anywhere. It's not, you're not going to slip unless you just don't have a good grip on it. Another plus to this type of doing this kind of thing with the G10 is no two knives are going to be the same. The method of doing this is stacking up the colors and then, you know, milling and cutting and all. And just by nature, in doing that, no two knives are going to have the same pattern on them. Some will have more gray, some will have more black. So that's kind of a plus for me, knowing that I've got the only one that's going to look exactly like this. And, you know, every other person that has one. What am I trying to say? Every other person that owns one of these Freeks, it's unique. Because it's not going to have the same pattern as anyone else's. Yeah, there we go. The knife You know, like I've said in other Benchmade reviews, here in the past few years, people have been complaining about Benchmade's quality control. I have never experienced a quality control issue from Benchmade. Every knife I've bought from them over the past couple years have been absolutely fine out of the box. The worst thing I've had to do is adjust on the pivot a little, and that's not due to blade centering or anything like that. It's just because if anyone that owns a Benchmade knows, that's probably the first thing you do is you adjust on the pivot to get that blade dialed in where you want it. Some people like them where they're just shaking like that when you're rocking them. Some people like them really tight to where you actually can't flick them open like that and you have to use your thumb stud. Those people are weird in my opinion, if you ask me, because that defeats the purpose of an axis lock. I kind of like mine somewhere in the middle. I like it to be able to close, but not necessarily be fall shut. But I can also still flick this thing open and close with minimal effort all day. Blade centering, it came great for me. And then adjusting on it didn't affect that one bit. The grind on it is wonderful. It's even. It's sharp as a razor, as you would expect from a Benchmade. So that's all the things that I like about it and love about it and wonderful things I have to say about it. What would be my complaint? Function-wise, nothing. But, come on, Benchmade. Y'all have an awesome... People want deep carry pocket clips. Now, I know you can call Benchmade, write them up, whatever, and they will send you whatever pocket clip you want. But if you know people are going crazy over your deep carry pocket clip, then start putting it on your knives. I'm getting tired of this. I know this is classic Benchmade. I know people see that what am I trying to say? I'm getting myself flustered. People see that pocket clip sticking out of your pocket and they know you got a Benchmade, okay? I get that. But people see this one, see that butterfly there? They know you got a Benchmade there too. So I guess that would be my one complaint. And like I said, it's not technically functional. Yeah, the functionality of the clip, okay? But that would be my one complaint is that Benchmade just will not start putting these, which this one came with it. Okay, I can't complain too much. This one came with it, but Benchmade won't start putting them on all their knives. You know, that's kind of frustrating. That's about it though. But it's a tight pocket clip. Like I said, function-wise, it does what it's supposed to do. It serves its purpose and it does it well. It's tight. It's got enough ramp to be able to get your pants pocket in there, in and out real quick. Which, by the way, this kind of smooth G10 helps out with that a lot. When the knife's open, at least how I have to grip it, it doesn't really cause a hot spot. Now I can feel it. It kind of goes right there in between my knuckles. So I can feel it, but it's not hot spotty. Let's see. I pre-ordered this one too. I pre-ordered both of these on Blade HQ. I was lucky enough with this one. I say lucky. I was kind of hoping I wouldn't get a first production run. I kind of feel bad using those, but I got lucky enough to get a high number to where I don't really care. I was lucky enough to not get a first production run on this one, which, you know, part of me was kind of hoping I did because I pre-ordered it, but then again, I'm glad I didn't because I don't feel so bad beating it to death or whatever. So that's about it. Very little things to complain about with this one. It's a good EDC. It's a little bigger. Some people don't like this kind of this big of a knife for EDC, but it's light. The G10 makes it light. It's functional. It's smooth. It's kind of slim. So I mean, this makes a good EDC knife, and it's got the M4 steel. So man, you should rarely have to sharpen this one. Not saying you won't ever have to. Of course you will if it gets used. But that's a good, strong steel that should hold an edge for quite some time. So now let's talk about what I usually like to talk about in my videos. Price, my level of happiness, all that kind of stuff. Price on these, at least right now on Blade HQ, is $192. Right at $192. I want to think I paid a few dollars more than that for mine when I first got it, but I might just be thinking about adding tax and shipping and all that stuff. So that sounds about right. At that price point, am I glad I bought it? Yes, absolutely. Now, if you like the design of the Freek and you're not really too concerned about the G10, about it looking nice. Okay, let's be honest. Other than paying for the M4 steel and the G10 over the Versamax, whatever that stuff's called, whatever the handles are on the other one, the grippy with the plastic in the middle, you're paying for a good looking knife. Let's just be honest about it. And that's what this is to me, in my opinion. This is a good looking knife. I like the red accents on it there. I like the black and gray. I like the black coated blade. So I'm sure that's part of what's got to do with that increase in price, because the regular ones I think are like $120. So you got a $70 difference. I don't think the steel accounts for all of that. So yeah, $191, $192, something like that. Am I glad I bought it? Yes, absolutely. This one hasn't actually seen a lot of pocket time. Of course I've carried it. I wouldn't be reviewing it if I hadn't carried it at all. But it hasn't seen a whole lot of pocket time because, simply because I got this one close to the same time, and I love this one. And, it's like $199. This one's like $200, $190. Okay, so $10 more, you get this one. So I love this one, and not saying I don't like this one, because this one has definitely seen pocket time. If you saw my review for this one, 99% of the time when I'm at home, this is what's in my pocket. Now, this one, okay, here we go. When I'm at home, this is what's in my pocket. When I go out, I won't say a lot of times, but quite often, this is what's in my pocket. This one actually also finds its way into my pocket a lot of times when I'm at work. Of course, I have several knives on me when I'm at work, but this one tends to be one of them. So, yeah, $192. It was worth it to me. I carry it. I use it. Would I replace it? Probably. That's kind of one of those. This is kind of one of those where I'd have to cross that bridge when I get there. I'd have to look at it and see, did I actually use it that often? Did I actually carry it that often? Am I actually going to miss it? Not saying it wouldn't be worth replacing if something were to happen to it, but I probably would. I will say I probably would, but I can't say 100% that I would. And not because of anything bad with the knife. It's probably actually got more to do with just because of how many I have and my other options. But yeah, I mean, it's a great knife. If you like the looks of it, you don't mind paying a little extra just for how your knife looks, it's a great option for you. It has premium materials, great materials. It's got nice G10 handles, layered G10, so you get this effect on it when they cut it or mill it and all that kind of stuff. It's got a premium steel. It's got M4 steel with a premium Cerakote coating. So, yeah, I mean, if you got $191, $192 to drop on a knife, sure, why not? Like I said, it's a little big for some people, but it makes a great EDC knife. It'll hold its edge for a long time. It's just a good knife. I got nothing bad to say about it, really. So if you got $190 to drop on a knife, go ahead. Go right ahead. You get the Sergeant Dan seal of approval. All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff so people can start seeing my reviews. I got several more coming out. I've got a pile of knives here that I'm going to review and record and get out over the next week or so, just to help increase my library here. So make sure you check them all out. If you subscribe and you hit that bell icon down there, then you'll know when I post a new. You'll not only see my new one, but you'll know the minute that I post it, so you can check it out. So there's you an idea right there. Why don't you give that a try? Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one.